Great catching up with Miles Johns. He's going to be fighting this weekend. He's taking on Jessie Rosas, UFC Vegas 120 this Saturday. Miles, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for doing this on Fight Week. I know you got a lot going on, so I appreciate you making some time. Some great weather out there in Vegas as expected. But when did you find out about this fight? Because I just saw this fight get added last week. Did you find out around then too?
Yeah, so Jason hit me up probably like a week before it was announced and was like, hey, Sean is looking for people to fill the August 8th card. Would you be interested? Obviously, it was really soon, but you know me, I was like, yeah, absolutely. If you need somebody, you can call me. And then I didn't hear anything for like the whole week and the whole weekend. I was like, hey, have you heard anything from Sean? And it was pretty much like, hey, Sean hasn't replied back to me. So I kind of thought that I wasn't fighting. And then he called me on Tuesday. It was like, hey, Sean found us an opponent, so we're good to go. And that was like, that was just like over a week ago from today.
Okay, cool. Well, that's glad it all worked out. And they told you Jessie Rosas. Did you know much about him before taking this fight? Take me through finding out you'd be fighting Raul Rosas' older brother.
No, I didn't know. And when I accepted the fight for August 8th, I didn't know who was going to be either. It was pretty much just like Sean needs somebody to help fill the card. And obviously, like I said, I was like, yeah, man. And I didn't know who it was going to be. But when I found out it was Jessie Rosas, I was happy about that matchup. You know, I think it's a good matchup. He has a name, obviously, just because Raul. So yeah, I think there'll be some eyes behind the fight. And yeah, I think it's good.
I know the UFC loves people taking short notice fights. I know coming into this, you've had a couple losses. Was there any concern they wouldn't bring you back? I know you have a contract, but you never know these days with the UFC.
Dude, 100%. After my last fight, that was a tough night. You know, because obviously that one was on short notice. I was supposed to fight Ewan, and then he pulled out, and then I didn't hear anything for like a week and a half, so I didn't think I was fighting. And they gave me Marcos, who was a very tough match, and he was already in camp training to fight Felipe in like 2 weeks after we fought, so he was like deep into camp already. So it was a tough ask, and after that night was hard. It was really hard, and I really was thinking that was my last showing in the UFC, you know, and that was a really tough pill to swallow, you know. So just to be able to have this opportunity again, I'm so grateful, and I'm going to go out there and make the most of it for sure.
How do you feel like you match up against him stylistically here?
I feel like I'm a really hard match for him. My last three opponents have a combined record of 50-5. And I think like the best guy he's fought has been like 20-11 or something like that, which doesn't mean he's not a good fighter. I think that he is a good fighter, but I know for sure that he has not been in there with the caliber of guys like I have, and has never been in there with somebody like me.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. And that was going to be kind of my next question, kind of on the same lines, like experience-wise, you got way more fights than he does. You talked about the opposition you fought. How much will that play into this fight, do you think?
I think it's going to have a huge factor in this fight, especially with it being short notice. You know, this is not my first rodeo for short notice. I'm feeling really good. We got the fight at 45, so I'm not having to get all the way down to 35 like last time. So for him to have to come debut against me on short notice, yeah, that's a big ask for him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, how nice is it not having to cut that extra weight, especially on short notice? Don't have to focus, I imagine, as much on the cut.
Dude, it's awesome. I'm still sitting here contemplating, like, man, maybe 45 is what's the next move for me. You know, this is my 13th fight in the UFC. I've been cutting weight for a long time. So it's been really nice, and it really has me thinking about what I'll do in the future.
So obviously you're training all the time, one of the best camps out there at Marathon MMA. What type of camp have you had leading into this? Because I know you're not sitting on the couch, you're training all the time, but what type of camp have you had leading into this?
It's been different, man. For whatever reason, before Jason texted me the week before, I started like training really hard. I'm always training, like you said, but I started like running and doing mitts and stuff like that. And I just had a feeling that I was, that something was going to be coming up. I don't know if that was just like a little nudge from God or what. So luckily I had some time to like kind of prepare before I even knew that I was going to be getting this fight. But the camp's been different because I have my own gym now, obviously, Kingdom, MMA, and BJJ. And I'm doing like a lot of my rounds there. But I'm also getting a marathon when I can. So it's been different, but it's been fun.
Interesting. How long's the gym been going on? Because that's new for this fight, I think, right? The gym, or have you had that for a bit?
Correct. I was working on it before my last fight. And then after my last fight, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to get another opportunity or when the opportunity was going to come. So I really just started getting the ball rolling, and we've been open for 7 months now.
Congrats, man. That's awesome. I know that's a big moment for a
Thank
fighter
you.
to be able to open their gym. And obviously with your experience, I imagine that's really beneficial for people going to your gym and everything. So that's awesome. So gym owner, UFC fighter, and has a nice ring to it. On that note, who made the trip with you to Vegas? Did Trey make it in your corner? Or who's going to be in the cage with you on Saturday?
Yes, Trey will be the head corner, and then I got my boxing coach, Melvin Wesley. Love having him there, and then my younger brother Elijah's gonna
Of
come
course.
just for fight day. Yeah, he's fighting the very next weekend in the Fury main event. So
Okay.
he still want to roll out here. He still want to roll out here and be able to be ringside and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and what does that say about Trey? Of course, Trey Ogden, your coach, that you get the short notice fight, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll be there," because I know he's got a lot going on with all of his students and everything. So for him to drop all that and come corner you, that's got to mean a lot to you, I imagine.
Man, it means a ton to me, and I understand very well too. He has like 5 guys fighting the same weekend, and I was supposed to have a guy fighting. So I know it's not easy leaving the gym and like having corners for those guys and stuff. But I really appreciate him being here.
Yeah, there's a local card this weekend. Is it Ignite? Is the show? I know there's a few events going on right now in your area in Missouri, right? So I imagine, yeah.
Yeah, Zach Cummings runs the show, but and he owns Ignite. But it's Synergy Fighting Championship.
Oh, Synergy's going on as well. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. So there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot going on in Missouri, which is great. I know you don't like getting paid by the hour. How's this one playing out?
It's gonna be finished. It's gonna be finished. I'm gonna walk this kid down. I'm gonna put pressure on him. I'm gonna show him that the UFC is a whole different ball game, and I'm gonna get him out of there.
Before we go, we hear your kids in the background. I know you homeschool your kids, right? So how does that work with like, are they already back in school? Because I know I think we talked about this last time. In Canada, my kids go back to school in September and they finish in June. Whereas I believe in the US, it's the opposite. It's like May you finish and then you go back in August, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That is, but we've taken more of a Canadian approach to school, especially with us opening this gym.
Right.
We started it heavy in December and we opened in January. So they took like a whole month off from school because we were just there all the time building out and stuff. So they'll probably start in September and end a little later, but it's great, man. I just get to take them everywhere. They've had their own little school about like what it's like to open a business and have a commercial real estate and stuff. So yeah, it's been fun, but they'll probably start in September.
And just last one for me here. I don't know how many more fights you have left in your deal, but obviously if you win this, I mean, it would probably be incentive for them to kind of sign you to a longer term thing here, or do you just have the one fight left? What's sort of the latest with your contract?
So I have 2 fights left, including this one.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is definitely to go out there and show that I still belong in the UFC, and we'll see what happens. I don't think Chiwiwis will be very happy with me knocking out his brothers. So maybe there's some play there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Miles, thanks for making time, especially during fight week. Always appreciate it, man. And congrats on the gym. That's super awesome that you've been able to do that. Just anything you want to plug, the gym, social media, sponsors, you name it. I'll give you the last word here.
Nope. You guys can just follow me on Instagram, Miles Chapo Johns, and my gym is Kingdom MMA and BJJ. So appreciate it following that. But